In this particular context, sometimes you don't necessarily need to get new material. It's about re-evaluating and researching the material you do have. So in our particular case, when it came to researching an exhibition around the First World War, you started to look at team photographs again, material around that period, because even into the mid-1920s you still have teams with players who are veterans in the First World War. So sometimes it's about going out, finding out who they are, researching them, and actually you find out you've got a collection that relates to that topic that you didn't realise you had to begin with. So that's one particular suggestion I have in that area.
There are loads and loads of different collections that exist that link across sporting heritage and the armed forces, and it's because the two areas have got so much in common in terms of the way that people learn sport or the way that sport is used in the armed forces. We set up Sporting Heritage in the Armed Forces as a joint project with another network called AMOT, which is specifically about army museums. And the reason we did that is because we were finding more and more of our network organisations were saying they had armed forces collections, but they weren't sure how to look after them and they weren't sure how to link with the army museum sector, and vice versa from the army museums network. So this project is very much around starting to identify those collections, develop touring temporary exhibitions to start to share them widely with lots of different audiences, and to start to look at how we digitise those collections so that they are removed from risk and available for lots of different audiences online and digitally. The exhibition and the training programme that goes alongside that is also making sure that in the long term those collections are much better protected and much better understood. There's still a long way to go. This is the start of those two organisations working together to look at those collections. But by focusing on a specific area, it helps us to really spend time thinking about how do we make sure those collections are at risk, and gives the organisations that we work with time to look at those specific collections.
To develop a collection that focuses on sporting heritage and the armed forces, you would need to look at the collection that you already hold. Each collection is always bound by what's called a collecting policy, which outlines all the parameters from within which you collect. So for a sporting heritage collection, you might collect a specific sport, you might collect within a specific sport, a range of sports within a specific area. For the army museums, they quite often collect specifically for a specific regiment or a specific corps. But if you're wanting to make a collection that links both the two together, you would need to define it within your collecting policy and then actively look to collect, and whether you make an appeal to your local community or whether you collect at auction, depending on the level of material that you're looking to collect. If you're looking to collect people's sporting memories or sporting heritage in the armed forces memories, going out to your community is a good way of doing it, and you can create an oral history archive. So there are lots of ways of approaching it. You just need to be very clear and define what you're looking to develop right from the beginning.
So the significance of women's sport now is that after a number of years of women's stories being suppressed or ignored, is they're finally getting the attention that they deserve, and through doing so they are changing how we understand the history of the game and also changing our understanding of what the game can be in the future. And so for us as a museum, we think we're a great place to be able to reflect both on that new history that's coming through and what it means to what we think of the game as it goes forward.